How far would you go for your family? Would you give up your dreams, your happiness, your future? What if I told you there was a girl who gave everything, only to discover she was never loved? She was only used. This is the story of Amara, and what her family did to her will leave you speechless. Amara was not the first child, but she was the strongest. At just 19, while others her age were chasing dreams, love, and soft lives, Amara was already fighting battles that didn't belong to her. Her father, once a respected man, had become a shadow of himself. Jobless, bitter, always angry. Her mother, tired, worn out, but silent. And her two younger siblings, still innocent, still depending on her. So Amara stepped up. Not because she wanted to, but because someone had to. She woke up before sunrise every day, worked at the market, carried heavy baskets on her head, smiled at rude customers, endured insults, skipped meals. Also, she could go home with just enough money to feed her family. Every naira she earned, she gave it all. No savings. Because in her mind, her family was her responsibility. Amara had a dream once. She wanted to become a nurse. She loved helping people, loved the idea of saving lives. She had even gotten admission into a small nursing school. But the day the acceptance letter came, her father laughed. "Who will pay the fees?" he asked coldly. Her mother didn't defend her. Instead, she said, "Your siblings need to eat first." And just like that, Amara folded her dreams, put them away, and never spoke of them again. That night, she cried quietly, not because she hated her family, but because she loved them too much to choose herself. Years passed. Amara became everything to everyone. She paid school fees, paid rent, handled hospital bills. Even when her father fell sick, it was Amara who carried him to the clinic. When her mother needed medication, it was Amara who stayed awake all night beside her. People in the neighborhood began to notice. "She's a good girl," they said. "God will bless her." But inside that house, no one ever said thank you. No one ever asked if she was tired. No one ever asked, "What about your life?" One evening, as the sun dipped low, a black car drove slowly into their street. It didn't belong there. Everyone noticed. The windows were tinted. The engine hummed quietly. And inside, a man was watching. Not the house. Not the street. Amara. He saw her struggle with heavy baskets. Saw her wipe sweat from her face. Saw the exhaustion in her steps. And smiled. Not kindly. Not warmly. But like someone who had just found something valuable. A few days later, the man returned. Today, he didn't stay in the car. He walked straight into Amara's house. She wasn't home. Only her parents were. The conversation that followed would change everything. No one heard the full details. But neighbors saw something strange. And Amara's father was smiling. Smiling in a way no one had seen in years. It happened on a quiet afternoon. Amara had just returned from the market. Her body ached. Her feet were sore. But she still managed a small smile. "Good afternoon," she greeted. No one answered. The house was silent. Her father sat in the corner, avoiding her eyes. Her mother stood near the door, hands trembling. Then she saw him, The man from the black car, sitting calmly, like he belonged there. Something inside her shifted. "What is going on?" she asked softly. No one replied. Her heart began to race. "Why is he here?" Her voice cracked this time. Silence. Then the man stood up, slowly, confidently, and walked toward her. "You're coming with me," he said. Simple. Cold. Amara laughed nervously. "Coming with you? Where?" No one answered. She turned to her parents. Confused. Scared. "Daddy?" "Nothing. Mommy?" Her mother's eyes filled with tears. But she said nothing. And that's when it hit her. The silence. The tension. The way they looked. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "What did you do?" Her father finally spoke. "We had no choice." No choice. Those 3 words shattered her world. "You sold me?" she asked, her voice barely audible. Her mother broke down crying. Her siblings hid in the corner. And her father, he didn't deny it. "He will take care of us," he said. "You've been struggling too much." Amara stared at him, unable to process it. "I've been struggling for you," she screamed. Her voice cracked with pain. "I gave you everything." Tears streamed down her face. "I gave up my life, my dreams, my future." "Istiu." No one moved. No one stopped it. No one saved her. And in that moment, Amara realized something terrifying. She was never their daughter. She was their solution. She fell to her knees, her body shaking, her chest tightening. "Please," she whispered. "Don't do this." She looked at her mother, the woman she had stayed up nights caring for. "Please, Mummy." But her mother turned away. She looked at her father, the man she had respected. "Daddy, please." But his face remained hard. Empty. Gone. That was the moment Amara died inside. Not physically, but emotionally. Completely. The man grabbed her arm. Firm. Unforgiving. She didn't fight. She didn't scream. She didn't beg anymore. Because there was nothing left. As he dragged her out of the house, she turned one last time, hoping, praying, that someone would stop it. That someone would say, "This is wrong." But the door closed behind her. And just like that, Amara was gone. The house was quiet again. But now, it wasn't peaceful. It was heavy, dark, haunted. Her mother cried every night. Her siblings stopped laughing. And her father, he counted the money, over and over again, as if convincing himself that it was worth it. They hadn't just sold Amara. They had sold their own humanity. The car ride was silent. Amara sat in the back seat, her hands trembling slightly. Empty. The tears had stopped. Not because the pain was gone, but because it had gone too deep. They drove for hours, far away from the noisy streets she knew, far away from the life she once called hers, until the car finally stopped in front of a massive building. Tall gates, high walls, armed guards. This wasn't a home. It was a prison. The man who bought her wasn't just rich. He was powerful, feared, untouchable. His name was Chief Adebayo, a man known in whispers, a man whose wealth came from places no one dared to question. Now, Amara belonged to him, Not as a daughter, not as a worker, but as something far worse. A possession. That night, Amara sat alone in a large room. Soft bed, expensive furniture. Everything looked beautiful, but it felt like a cage. She hugged her knees tightly, her mind replaying everything. Her mother's silence, her father's cold voice, money, the betrayal. Then, something inside her shifted. A quiet voice, cold, steady. No one is coming to save you. And for the first time, Amara believed it. Days turned into weeks. Amara stopped speaking, stopped crying, stopped hoping. She followed instructions, moved when told. Chief Adebayo watched her closely. At first, he expected resistance, fear, emotion. But what he saw instead interested him. She was different. Not broken, not weak. Just quiet, dangerously quiet. One evening, he called her. "Come," he said. Amara stood before him. "Come. You've suffered," he said, studying her face. She said nothing. "You've been betrayed. And yet, you're still standing." He smiled slightly. Chief Adebayo didn't destroy Amara. He reshaped her. He taught her things she never imagined. How to read people. How to hide emotions. How to speak with power. How to survive without needing anyone. Days became training. Weeks became discipline. Months became transformation. The girl who once carried baskets in the market was disappearing, and in her place, a new Amara was being created. Stronger, colder, untouchable. A year passed. If you saw her now, you wouldn't recognize her. Her posture had changed. Her eyes no longer carried pain. They carried something else. Control. She spoke less. But when she did, people listened. Chief Adebayo trusted her more than anyone, because he knew one thing. A girl who has lost everything has nothing left to fear. One night, while reviewing documents in his office, Amara found something. A book. Old. Hidden. Her name. Her family's names. Her hands froze. Slowly, she opened, and what she saw made her blood run cold. The money her father collected was nothing compared to her real worth. She had been sold cheaply, carelessly, like she meant nothing. Tears didn't fall. They couldn't, because something darker had replaced them. Anger. That night, Amara stood in front of the mirror, staring at herself. But she wasn't seeing the girl she used to be. That girl was gone. Dead. What stood there now was someone else. Someone who understood the world. A world where love meant nothing. Where loyalty could be bought. Where even family could destroy you. She tilted her head slightly. And for the first time in a long time, she smiled. Not with warmth. Not with joy. But with intention. They will remember me. The next morning, she approached Chief Adebayo. "I want to work for you," she said. Not as a victim. Not as a servant. But as an equal. He studied her carefully. "You already do," he replied. She shook her head slowly. "No." There was a pause. "I want more." Silence filled the room. Then, he smiled, because in that moment, Amara wasn't asking for power. She was ready to take it. A black car drove slowly into a familiar street. The same dusty road. The same broken houses. The same place where everything began. But now, it wasn't the same girl. The car stopped. The door opened, and Amara stepped out. Dress differently, walking differently, looking untouchable. Whispers filled the air. Is that Amara? She's back. Her house stood ahead, just as she remembered. But something felt smaller now, weaker, like it no longer held power over her. She walked forward, slow, calm, deliberate, and knocked. The door opened. Her mother stood there, and for a moment, they froze. Shock, fear, guilt, all in one glance. Amara, she whispered. But Amara didn't respond. She just looked at her, cold, unreadable. Her father appeared behind her, and the moment he saw her, his face changed, because he knew. This wasn't the same girl they sold. This Juan was dangerous. They thought they got rid of her. They thought they could forget. But now, she was back, not as a daughter, but as something far worse. A reminder, a consequence, and what she came to do next would destroy everything they had left. They thought she came back to forgive, to reconnect, to be their daughter again. But they forgot one thing. When you break someone completely, you don't get the same person back. You get someone worse. The house was quiet. Amara stepped inside slowly. Every corner held memories. The old chair her father used to sit on, the worn-out table where they ate, the walls that had heard her laughter, and her silent cries. Her mother couldn't stop, shaking. Amara, we thought you were dead, Amara interrupted calmly. Her voice was soft, but sharp. No, she continued. Not dead. Just reborn. Her father cleared his throat, trying to regain control. You came back, he said. Amara turned her gaze to him slowly. Silence stretched. Then she added, I wanted to see if it was worth it. The words landed like a slap. Amara reached into her bag and dropped something on the table, a thick envelope. Money. More money than they had ever seen at once. Her father's eyes widened. What is this? He asked. Amara tilted her head slightly. Trayo. Her mother frowned. Trayo. Amara nodded yes. She leaned forward slightly. If someone offered you this. She paused. To sell one of your children again. Her voice dropped. Would you do it? Silence. Heavy. Suffocating. No one answered. But their faces said everything, and Amara saw it. That tiny hesitation, that flicker, that greed. And she smiled. Say it, Amara whispered. No Juan spoke. Her voice grew colder. Say it. Her mother broke first. We were desperate, she cried. We had nothing. We did it for the family. Amara laughed. A soft, hollow laugh. For the family, she repeated. Her eyes darkened. I was the family. The room went silent. Amara stood up slowly and began to walk around the room like she owned it. You know what I learned, she said calmly. That day, when you sold me. She stood behind her mother. That love is useless. She leaned closer. That loyalty is a lie. Then she stepped back. And that people, her gaze swept across them, only care when it benefits them. Her father tried to speak. We can fix this. No, Amara cut in. You can't. She reached for her phone, pressed something, and suddenly, voices filled the room. Their voices recorded. The conversation they had the day they sold her. The bargaining. The negotiation. The price. Her mother collapsed into tears. Her father froze. How did you? I know everything, Amara said quietly. You think I came here to shout? She asked. To cry? To beg for an apology? She shook her head slowly. She stepped closer. I came to take back everything. Her father's voice trembled. What do you mean? Amara smiled faintly. You'll see. Days passed, then it started. The landlord came. Your rent has been terminated. Her father was confused. What? Why? No answer. Then his small business collapsed overnight. Suppliers refused to work with him. Money disappeared. Debts appeared. People he trusted turned against him. One by one, everything began to fall apart. It didn't take long for them to understand. This wasn't coincidence. This was Amara. Her mother showed up at her gate one morning, crying, begging. Please, stop this. Amara stood there, dressed in power, untouched, unmoved. Stop, she repeated softly. You didn't stop when I begged. Her mother fell to her knees. We're your family. Amara's expression didn't change. No, she said. You were my family. Her father came next, not begging, angry. You think you're powerful now. You think this makes you better. Amara stepped closer, slow, controlled. I don't think, she said quietly. I know. Then she added, you sold me for survival. Her eyes locked into his. I'm destroying you. For balance. They lost everything. The house, the money, the respect. Everything. The same way Amara had lost everything. Slowly. Painfully. Completely. And on the final day as they stood outside, broken, a black car pulled up, the same kind. The door opened and Amara stepped out. She looked at them, not with anger, not with hate, but with something worse. Nothing. Her mother cried. Her father stood in silence, defeated. Amara walked closer and stopped. You taught me something, she said calmly. That day, she looked around slowly. At the end of everything, you're always alone. She turned away, then paused and without looking back.
I hope it was worth it.
The car drove away. No one stopped her. No one called her back. Because the truth was finally clear. They didn't lose Amara the day they sold her. They lost Amara the moment they chose money over love. Who was more wrong? The parents who sold her, or Amara who destroyed them? Do you think Amara was right? Or did she go too far? If you were in Amara's position, would you forgive or do exactly what she did? Drop your answer in the comments. Was Amara right or wrong? Type justice if you support Amara, or too far if you think she crossed the line. If this story touched you, don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Thank you for watching.